I haven't recorded a video in a long time. I feel camera shy. I was just meditating and I figured it would be faster to speak than to journal my thoughts. So I thought, why not record them and for some reason post them or not, or why? Why do we want to post our thoughts on the internet? I don't know. But what came up to me was I used to judge whether a meditation was good or successful by how much emotion and sensations came up during the meditation. So if I had like tension and tears or anger, and I could work through that during the meditation, that I considered that to be a successful meditation. And that fell away, I guess, slowly. I haven't meditated much in the last year since the awakening. I guess if I had to guess, if I had to guess why, I would say I have no idea. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, it's just useful to regulate my nervous system, I guess. Even if strong emotions don't come up. Well, that's the thing. You can't. I get triggered sometimes during the day, many times, and that to me now is the best moment to do the work, when the trigger comes, because it's not useful or not necessary to sit cross-legged on your couch and force stuff to come up so that you can work through it. That's fake and that's not fun. Why would I do that? Life takes care of itself. Life will present opportunities to work through stuff. So I was like, then what's the point of just sitting and doing nothing for, in this case today, 45 minutes? I guess the purpose is, well, to me it was regulating my nervous system. And I'm thinking I would love to challenge myself to meditate every day like I did before. And I've wanted to do that many times this year, but the reason I didn't do it is because since the awakening, I can't force myself to do anything I don't want to do. So if I'm like, okay, let's go, I'll meditate for 30 days or 100 days. If I don't feel like doing it one day, there's no more shame and no more guilt. And those were my two main drivers for my entire life. And now that they fell away, it's like, what's the point? Who cares that I don't meditate today? So I'm like, what's the point of doing a 30-day meditation challenge if I'm not going to do it? But then telling myself that, I just don't do anything at all and don't meditate at all. And that's unfortunate because I find it beneficial for my body, for my nervous system. And I'm thinking I'm going to start on September 1st. Not because I want to postpone. I agree with start now, like I just meditated today, but just because it will be easier to count the days if they follow the dates. Another thing that came up, I hope the sound works. I didn't check the sound. Another thing that came up was, I can't repress stuff anymore. Like in the last year, I've been so impatient at my daughter, at my child. And I don't like that. I used to, well, to repress, that's the thing. I just said the thing. I used to feel ashamed and afraid and so fearful that I would traumatize her by being mean or saying something inappropriate that she would remember forever, or being that parent who screams at her child daily. I don't scream, but I'm quite critical, I must admit. So I used to repress a lot of those emotions, that anger I had. And now I can't do that anymore. Even if I wanted to, I just can't. So it just comes out, it explodes out of me as soon as something annoys me. I say it. And she's 13 now, so it's a difficult age. Mother-daughter relationship in the teenage years. That's not easy. And so, and I feel, I don't want to say guilty or ashamed, because I don't feel those emotions that much anymore, or very little compared to before, where they were my go-to emotions. So it's hard for me to see myself being so irritable, frustrated, resentful, angry, or all those yucky sensations on a daily basis, and not being able to stop myself. I just say everything that comes up, and it's not fun for her. It's a lot. But I'm realizing now that if I see that if I take a step back from that situation, I notice that it's a logical evolution and process. I used to repress those emotions, so I would feel falsely sweet and kind and patient, and at some point I would explode. Now that doesn't happen. I just mildly explode, or mildly get annoyed many times a day. But the good thing is that as soon as the emotion is gone, or the frustration, or the thing that triggers me is it's done. I'm okay the minute after. Whereas when I used to repress and be super kind and quiet for a few days, the moment I exploded, it would last. I would be angry for days or hours. So I guess, from what I know from emotion work and shadow work and healing in general, you can't heal something that you can't see. So I first had to realize just how angry and frustrated and irritated I was, in order to be able to obey. In order to be able to heal it. So now I'm in the phase where I don't repress anymore. It just comes out. And what I'm hoping, or can guess, is that eventually it will be released. I guess I have a lot of complaining and whining and complaining to do. And that reminds me that a few years ago I had a lot of crying to do. I cried so much in my life. I had so much trauma in my body, so much grief that I carried for years and years and years. So I cried a lot, and I guess I'm done with that crying phase, and now I'm in the anger phase. I have to express that emotion. Unfortunately, it's not always the healthiest. I'm not always kind. And since I live alone with my child, she's at the receiving end of this anger, and that's sad. I don't like that for her, but I can hope that in not shaming myself and guilting myself for expressing that anger, even if it's not in the most healthy way, at some point it'll empty out. But I'm not just saying that my healing and my emotion work is complaining and whining. That's not the truth. I do other stuff. I work with my triggers when I see them, when I see myself being triggered, and can help myself from complaining or making unkind remarks. I work through that. I notice it, and I inquire about it. 9 minutes. What's the point? Why am I recording this, and why am I posting it? First, no one's watching, but even if people were watching, the thing is that Content is about value. When you watch a video, you hope to get something out of it, to become a better person or have more knowledge. And I don't provide that here. And if I'm just sharing my thoughts, it's kind of selfish. But they keep saying, share who you are. You don't know, it might help someone. That's strange. Life is strange. But making videos is good for accountability, I must say, because I can see it clearly on the YouTube studio page, like, oh, you didn't post that day. So if I am to challenge myself to meditate, which I think I will do, because that helps actually with whining and complaining and exploding. Even if nothing comes out, no strong emotions come out during the meditations, they have an opportunity to. So if something is there, it'll have the space it needs during that daily meditation. So I guess it'll be 30 days. And I'm going to write it down. From September 1st to September, whatever. How many days are there in September? 30? I think so. And I'm going to record a video. And if I don't, I don't. Yeah, it could also be beneficial to see, because I know that I derive benefits from meditating. My body derives benefits from it. But it's not during the meditation that you see the benefits, it's in your daily life. So maybe my poor child will appreciate this challenge without knowing that I'm doing it. All right.